Welcome back to the channel, friends. You've heard it everywhere. The carnivore diet is extreme, unhealthy, and downright dangerous. Where's your fiber? They cry. What's about scurvy? The plant pushers preach about the dangers of saturated fat and red meat, warning of heart disease, butthole cancer, and a whole host of other ailments. But is there any truth to their claims? Or are they clinging to outdated dogma, ignoring evidence that supports a carnivore way of life? Let's address some common concerns about the carnivore diet and see if these fears stand up to scrutiny. This video is not intended as medical advice, but rather as a starting point for your own research and exploration. For decades, we've been bombarded with nutritional guidelines based on flimsy epidemiology. These studies observe populations, find correlations, and make sweeping pronouncements about what we should and shouldn't eat. But we know that correlation doesn't equal causation. Just because two things happen together doesn't mean one causes the other. It's tempting to draw a straight line between two things that seem to happen in tandem. We notice a pattern and our brains, hardwired to see connections, jump to conclusions. Think about this. The number of people wearing sunglasses increases when the number of birds singing goes up. Does that mean our feathered friends possess a secret power, compelling us to shield our eyes with stylish shades? Of course not. The hidden link, the true causal factor, is staring us right in the face: sunshine. When the sun graces us with all its radiant glory, birds burst into song, and we humans, in a completely separate biological response, reach for our sunglasses to combat the glare. One doesn't cause the other. They are both independent effects stemming from a common cause. This principle, mistaking correlation for causation, is a trap we easily fall into, and it has real-world implications, particularly in the realm of health and nutrition. We're bombarded with information about what to eat, what to avoid, and what's absolutely essential for our well-being. But often, these pronouncements are based on limited data or flawed interpretations of complex biological processes. Take fiber, for example. We're told it's essential for digestion, a crucial component of a healthy diet that is completely missing from a carnivore diet. And yet, the Inuit, who survived for millennia on a meat-based diet, never touched this stuff. Think about it. They lived through ice ages with limited access to plants, no fruits, no vegetables. If fiber was truly essential for human survival, they wouldn't have thrived as they did. Adding to this intriguing contradiction, a clinical trial, albeit a small one, showed that people who removed all fiber from their diet experienced complete remission of constipation symptoms. It turns out fiber, often touted as the cure for digestive woes, can actually make constipation worse in some individuals. Then there's the fear of a vitamin C deficiency. We all know we need vitamin C to prevent scurvy, but the amount we actually require is much lower than what we've been told, especially on a carnivore diet. You see, most animals can synthesize their own vitamin C, but humans can't. This tells us something important. The gene responsible for making vitamin C was likely deactivated in our ancestors because excess vitamin C is a problem. How so? Excess vitamin C gets metabolized into oxalate, which binds with calcium to form sharp, needle-like crystals in the body. These crystals can damage organs and tissues, leading to a whole host of problems. Our ancestors who transitioned from a fruit-heavy diet to one focused on meat likely experienced this negative effect of excess vitamin C. But what about scurvy? Well, the recommended daily intake for vitamin C is based on the assumption that you're eating a standard diet high in carbohydrates. This high-carb diet means your cells are flooded with glucose, which competes with vitamin C for uptake. On a carnivore diet, however, you have much lower glucose levels, meaning your cells can absorb the vitamin C they need from meat, even in smaller amounts. No need to overload on oranges or supplements. and we are yet to see an example of a carnivore succumbing to scurvy. Another major concern often raised by critics of the carnivore is the elevated levels of fat, especially saturated fat. It is truly mind-blowing how successful the campaign to vilify saturated fat has been. This is a prime example of how misguided dietary dogma can permeate society. For years, we've been told to fear this natural component of meat and dairy, led to believe it clogs our arteries and leads to a host of health problems. Yet, this advice directly contradicts the diets of our ancestors, who thrived on animal fats and enjoyed robust health. Modern science is finally catching up, with large-scale studies failing to find a conclusive link between saturated fat and heart disease, cancer, or diabetes. The real culprit in the modern dietary landscape is not the fat found naturally in meat, eggs, and dairy, but rather the overconsumption of sugar, carbohydrates, and industrially produced seed oils, high in inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. These modern additions to our diets, not the nutrient-dense fats from animals, are what have wreaked havoc on our metabolic health. Our bodies are designed to thrive on a diet rich in animal protein and naturally occurring animal fats. These provide essential nutrients, support hormone production, and provide lasting satiety, unlike their processed counterparts. Embracing a carnivore diet, centered around nutrient-dense animal foods, allows us to align with our evolutionary blueprint. By focusing on meat, fish, eggs, and healthy animal fats, we consume a diet naturally abundant in vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acids, including the often overlooked omega-3s. This way of eating eliminates the sugar, carbohydrates, and inflammatory seed oils that contribute to modern health woes and allows us to embrace the nourishing, satiating power of animal-based nutrition. So, are these concerns about the carnivore diet legitimate? Like most things in nutrition, it's not so black and white. We've seen that many of the arguments against this way of eating are based on outdated science or a misunderstanding of how our bodies utilize nutrients. While more research is always welcome, emerging evidence suggests that a well-formulated carnivore diet can be a viable and often optimal option for many individuals. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Until next time, friends, and remember, live long, live strong, go carnivore.